Hey everyone, this is my reaction to the first episode of Isekai Maou Shoukan Shoujo no Dorei Majutsu. So, as you can tell from the title, this is an Isekai anime, which are always a lot of fun. And this one, seems only really be two main girls, which is interesting, and our main character. So, pretty much, yeah, it doesn't seem like there's going to be a huge cast to remember, which is always a good thing because my memory is horrible. But, yeah, I really am not sure exactly what to expect from this. I know there's some summoning involved, some slave magic, and stuff like that. I don't know much beyond that. I do generally try to go into these things as blind as I can. So that's what I'll do. Even the studio, I'm not even that familiar with. Like, I looked at what they've done through their MyAnimeLIst page, and I saw, like, nothing that I've actually watched on there. So, yeah, I don't really have anything to go by from that as far as how good or bad this production will be. So, as far as the anime, I'm going to be watching the uncensored version this time, which the length of it's a little bit longer than the official release, so the timing might be a bit off if you try to sync the official release to this reaction video. Just putting that out there. Anyway, I wanted to watch this uncensored because I really don't like beams of light and stuff. I watched the 4th season of High School DxD, the censored version for the YouTube channel, but I kind of regretted that like less than halfway through, but so I kind of want to go back to trying the whole uncensored thing. It just, there's pros and cons of both, really, so I just kind of flip-flop a lot. Anyway, let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, play. Cross Reverie. I didn't know this one actually involved an MMO, but okay, it's okay. Fit in, I suppose. It's an amazing throne room, I'm just gonna say that right now. Girls. Yeah, you can tell because he's blocking for her, with his hand. In other words, get out, you evil normies. Yeah, he straight up called them normies. Well, you'd be less surprised by that if you read the title, in the description and all that of the anime. But well, they wasted no time. I can respect that. I'll take the one on the, I'll take the cat girl one, please. Yeah, one thing I forgot to mention in my little intro is that, this is one of my most anticipated anime of the season, so... My god. Uh, I mean, the other girl is not bad, don't get me wrong, I prefer the cat girl. I can't think of a better way to wake up. Okay, so there are more girls than just those two. Those are just probably the main ones, but... Wow, we have a... Well, we had a Flat as Justice character, and then a bunch of... I'm starting to see a trend of not a lot of clothing in this setting. Like, very minimalistic clothing on a lot of these girls. Not that I'm gonna complain about that. Just making an observation. uh... But yeah, I do think I'm gonna like this anime. I think that's safe to say. He looks a lot cooler in the game than he does in real life. That is not always the case. I mean, the opening was average, but I liked it nonetheless. Nothing really memorable, but yeah, this part here I think is the part that would not be in the official release, so yeah, right when this segment started playing here, you'd want to pause if you were syncing it to the official one. What are you complaining about? If you want to switch positions, just say the word. Yes, way to go, you. I figured it was both of you working together. I like how the ears are the first thing he notices. Me too. Yeah, you can tell because the green clothes, the pointy ears, and the yellow hair, blonde hair. Well, it sucks to be you. Well, not really. I wish I was him. Oh god, I'm not gonna read all that. Okay, I'll try. Oh god, please stop. Hmm. I love Catgirl's pose there. That's amazing. I'm sure he was saying something very important there, but I wouldn't have caught it. That's the question. I don't know how we can get past this hurdle. Oh, wait, it's worse than I thought. Really? Oh, like what, 2 or 3 sentences before you started fighting? uh, okay, this is how he, this is how he goes. Are you surprised that he can talk? Yeah, it's a little bit like Overlord, kind of. uh, oh, okay, I think there's some magic that will make you do so. I can get behind that idea. Okay, now let's advance this. I think he's turned the tables on them. Okay, I think it's starting to make a bit more sense now. Well, so it did not go that way. You can't really enslave someone more powerful than you. Well, that's good for you. Uh, well, you have no one to blame but yourself. Pretty demanding for a slave. I do love Catgirl's character design so much. She's definitely my favorite, no doubt about that. Greenwood, very fitting for an elf. And nice to meet you, Rem. What exactly were they expecting to summon? Like a slime or something? No, you're Diablo. You need to you need to own that. Exactly. Oh, this was her first time. You should totally make them make up with each other. I can give you ideas on the specifics. Oh, you're not alone on that one. Those are huge? I I prefer the other one, but preferences are subjective. Yeah, I finally get to a town. We get to meet other people, less important people. Like, apparently catgirls are fairly common. In other words, this world is amazing. Wow, I cheat a catgirl. Mei-chan. Oh my god. Where do I sign up to come here? I know how you feel, man, but at least there's catgirls. I like how she said that. What, are you afraid they have cooties? Oh my god. Uh... You happy when you're that moment when your slaves argue over who gets to be with you? I think you're gonna... Yeah, you don't want to get her angry. Well, all of you sharing a room kind of solves things, so... Yes, that's exactly what it's leading to. I mean, there's not really a better way to die, so... Again, what are you complaining about? You're wearing far too much clothing. Do you have a nickname? Yes. Thank you for the exposition. Celeste, okay, she does have a nickname. You just said that. Well, I assume this is similar. Like Yuri business, or... But then they became slaves to their summon. Yeah, I'm sure she's thinking that there's an entertaining story behind this. Wow, we got a lot of close-ups of her chest. uh, as long as she's enjoying herself, I guess. I doubt it. I mean, I don't see the problem. uh, he's so arrogant. You know who you're speaking to? Diablo himself. A little bit, yeah. Here we go. Here we go. I'm glad. I love that he doubled down there. That alone makes it a lot different than something like smartphone. Why? Why do they have to name her Rem? Meanwhile, it's freaking Cher over there is in her own world. Don't glare at me. Who do you think you are, plebeian? You're lucky I allowed you to be in the same room as me. Yeah, clearly there's something implying something's going on with her. Probably important enough where she shouldn't be wearing a slave collar. Yes. Yes. Very genre savvy. Oh. Okay. Oh, damn. Uh, I, I think I found a thumbnail. Okay, let's do it. I'll be here if you guys need me. Okay, that's good. Well, that's why we're going to the torture. I highly doubt it. There's nothing you could tell me that would make me leave you. uh... I didn't think this through. That's, yeah, what are the specifics here? You could try tickle torture. Oh god, that must feel so good. I can just imagine, imagine how fluffy that is. Good god. Oh, that was an amazing reaction from her. Just this scene out of context would be something else. We're probably gonna have a maid come in to change his sheets when we're done here. Uh, the meowing. My god. Man, if I was him, I would have been spent already. You know what I mean? Yes, that's what we're saying. Just tell us all your secrets, adorable cat girl. uh, usually you don't get a scene like this in the first episode, but... Oh, he really... he... And there she goes. Shouldn't be so loud when playing with your cat. But yeah, I want to nibble on her ear too. It's not fair. Why can I be summoned by a cute cat girl? Wow. Trying to make it sound even more like you just had her first time. Still haven't told him anything though. Yeah, he looks a little bit like the Mao from The Devil's a Part-Timer. Oh. Krebskulum. Oh, wow. So she already had another man inside of her. Never mind. Wait, her soul. Okay, never mind. Well, we can't do that. So not even Elf Girl Ceres doesn't... so it is a family thing, hereditary. uh, we also need to get complained about the developers of real life, wouldn't it? I'm sure I can think of a way to deal with it, just... yeah, don't underestimate Diablo. It'd take a lot more than that to get me to leave her too. Do it? Yeah. I mean, nibbling on her ear is one thing, but touching her shoulder, no, that's too much for me. Yeah, funnily enough, Elf Girl reminds me a lot of the Elf Girl from Gates, appearance-wise. And meanwhile, Rem reminds me a lot of Rumi, whatever her name was, from Gate as well. Probably a demon because I have horns. He's drunk, of course he is. He's sitting down, not really wandering. Yeah, racism, yay. Yeah, you don't want to piss him off. Especially drunk plebeians, that's... Well, I think you may have made a mistake. Yeah, kick their ass, Diablo. Yeah, just destroy him. Of course not. He made you realize how pathetic you are. Wind magic? Kinda looks like it. Yeah, I'm sure that's how this will end. Oh, a salamander. Okay, I'll admit that's a bit scarier than I thought from the name. Oh wow, level 30. I doubt it. Yeah. I assume he's max level. Quick, throw a bomb in his mouth. That's how you deal with big salamanders. You do that a few times, then he just kind of rolls in some lava and burns up. Oh, jeez. Yeah, because it'll work the second time, I'm sure. We already established magic doesn't work on him at all, and I would assume fire would be similar. Oh, wow. I was thinking maybe level 100, but... Jeez. Man, that's a terrifying sight. I hope he's packing extra diapers. Goodbye, salamander. I already like this anime a lot more than smartphone. Jeez. Like everything besides the spot behind him is just destroyed. Well, I should hope so, Diablo. So you guys done now? Your worst nightmare. I think you mean Megumin, but okay. I think that was the same line that Megumin says, except with a different name. Oh my god, the ED. Uh... I... Okay, what's Networm's Rem gonna look like? Because I don't think... Yo, guy was not disappointed. That's pretty good, too. That's very good as well. Whew. Oh yeah, other girls, too. I don't think anything's gonna be Rem there. Rem is best girl, there's no doubt about that. Although, that does give Rem a run for her money, I'll be honest there. Especially the placement of her weapon or whatever, that's really good. That's amazing as well. You're making this difficult. You're making a lot of things hard, I mean difficult. Uh Now just kiss you too. This is an amazing ED. Not a lot of actual animation, but good. Very good. So that was the first episode of Isekai Maou Shoukan Shoujo no Dorei Majutsu. And this episode. Yeah, this was a fantastic first episode. It did not disappoint me in the slightest. Okay, so we started out with a bit of exposition on the world, how Cross Reverie is the most popular game ever. Our main character here, Diablo, he's like a legendary player in the game. He fights people, and the only people that get him serious are disgusting normies that have the audacity to come up before him, and he just slaughters them. And when in that last fight, you got to see him like equip that special magic repelling ring, which, you know, that was kind of like I assume it's just an item that he like takes off and on depending on the circumstances. And yet, because he was summoned right after that, that's going to be like an item he has, which does seem to be very valuable. It's the entire reason why we have our setup in the first place, with the two girls that summon him being slaves instead of the other way around. And yeah, that's basically our premise. They attempted to summon him. I don't know exactly what they were expecting to have, because they seemed surprised he could talk, so they were obviously not expecting something quite as sentient as what they got, I guess. Maybe they're just expecting some kind of low-level basic beast, like, I don't know, or maybe a raptor, or probably not a slime. That's a little bit too low-level for wanting to actually summon. But something, you know, in that vein, something that you would grind for XP, like nothing big, probably something that can't actually speak. But anyway, they kind of were arguing over who actually did the summoning, like, so I assume it was both of them together. But anyway, they attempted to cast the enslavement magic on him, and that bounced off of him and back onto them. So once all that happened, a lot made more sense to me, because I remember when I looked at this page, I was a little bit confused about how this works. Because it was like, what, they summon him, but clearly it seems like he's the one in charge here. So I was really confused about a lot of that, but once I actually saw that all happen, I was like, oh, okay, this all kind of makes more sense now. So yeah, now they're basically slaves to him. Like, there was one instance where he gave them an order pretty much, and the magic like made them obey it, like holding hands. Now with my imagination, I can think of plenty of other ways that could be applied, you know, giving them an order and those two girls doing it together. So yes, I hope we get a bit more of that going forward. Actually, now that I think about it, I think it was the kissing that was the trigger for the enslavement ritual, and they both did that at the same time. So yeah, that's probably the reason why they're arguing. So like, I don't know. I assume it can only work for one person, so if they both did it at the same time, how would that work? I don't know. I don't really know much about the mechanics of the magic or any magic in this setting, really. But anyway, yeah. But the second he arrived, that's what they did, and it does make more sense if we accept that's part of the ritual. But yeah, I'm sure he wouldn't complain either way. Only thing he complains about is not being able to properly enjoy it because of how sudden all this was, and you kind of need a second to be able to take all that in. I really that one scene when the two of them were arguing, and they basically showed them as little chibi forms, like little slideshow, like bouncing from chibi form to chibi form in various positions. I actually really like that. I don't think I actually commented that during the reaction itself, because there was a lot to take in, but I really did like that little touch there. Now, the scene where Diablo like takes charge, he says, "Okay, enough, you two. I command you to shake hands, smile, make up, and all that." And then they have the slave collars attached to them. Once that happened, I started to really like connect this show with Overlord, because obviously in Overlord, he's in real life he was like a normal, you know, a guy, but in this new setting he really tried to put on airs to really act out the role of being that Overlord, that powerful figure. And I see this guy doing kind of the same thing with the Diablo role, really trying to embrace that and really like act like he's really important and powerful, because he really is. He's level 150, was able to just wreck that salamander later on. So it's definitely fitting for him to behave that way. And it's obviously much better than the usual kind of protagonist we get with these sort of animes, like Smartphone, for instance. That guy, the protagonist of that anime, really just says it all with what typical protagonists are like, which I get kind of bored with. So I always do like protagonists that are a little bit different, like the Overlord protagonist or this protagonist. But throughout watching this episode, there reminded me a lot of various aspects of this episode. It reminded me of various other shows. Like there's moments where I was reminded of New Game. The whole command thing, I command you to hold hands, that reminded me a little bit of Fate Stay Night, because of the command seals that your servant, or in this case slave, you know, they have to do what you tell them, and the magic helps them do that. Especially if they don't want to do it, it'll push them into doing it. So they reminded me a little bit of that. And just obviously the elf thing, Cat Girl, they reminded me a little bit of characters from Gates, character design wise, more so elf, but a little bit for Cat Girl as well. Just a lot like that. And of course the character design of Diablo reminded me a little bit of the Mao from Devil's a Part-Timer, so throughout most of this episode, I kept being reminded of other various anime. I don't mean that as a knock on the show or anything. I think it's good if a show can take the best parts of various shows and put them into their own work. That's not a criticism or anything. I'm just making an observation. I really do find it funny how, like, Elf Girl in particular, she's complaining about being, like, enslaved by the summon she tried to do. And I really can't have even an ounce of sympathy for someone who tried to summon something with the intention of enslaving it, and then whines that that thing enslaves her instead. You have no business complaining about that. So, yeah, I just want to point out I have zero sympathy for them now being his slaves because that's what they were going to do to him. Obviously, to be fair, they didn't think they would probably get something quite like him, but still, nonetheless, it is the case. I quite like the cheetah girl Mei-chan, who was at the end to welcome them in. She was very, she was adorable. She was amazing, but she also has a temper. Like if you don't act appropriately, in the establishment, she just straight up says she's gonna kick you out. So then I think they all were like made to like share a room together because as they were arguing about who would get to share the room with Mao, with Diablo. So that's how that worked out. In any case, we started getting into some more plot stuff when Celeste arrived, who has a bit of a conversation with Rem about stuff we don't fully understand just yet. Well, at that point in time, we do by the end of the episode. But they were talking about stuff like that. Rem is obviously a more important person than she might have let on. All she told us before was that she was an adventurer doing her best. And Shara, the elf, said that she was, trying to be an adventurer for her own various reasons, which I'm sure we'll get more into her later on. But this episode was a bit more about Rem, as it should be, because Rem is best girl, like, regardless of the anime she's in, I suppose. But yeah, obviously Diablo, he was there for that. He was not getting along well with the one, I don't know what you'd call him, the one associate of Celeste. He was giving him dirty looks, and Diablo was like, "What do you think you're looking at, you dirty plebeian? Do you think you're even worthy to talk to me?" That sort of thing. And he wasn't a big fan of him. So that's how that ended. Of course, that would be expanded on later, but for the time being, what Diablo is concerned with is what's going on with Rem. That conversation, he's very genre savvy. He obviously plays this game, so it's not that hard for him to do some certain things. So he had the idea that he would torture her until she gave the information that he wanted. However, he kind of went into that before he was even sure on the specifics of the method of torture he would use. In the end, I'd say he chose pretty well as far as the specific methods, and I would use them as well. Even without the need for torture, I would still do similar things just because it's enjoyable to do. But it did seem to work. She was able to, trust him with the secret, and she gave it to him, and she was very happy and emotional about the fact that he wanted to know it and didn't leave her when he found out. And basically the secret was that she had some demon lord trapped deep inside of her, and I guess it's a hereditary thing, and pretty much he's going to try to help her with that somehow. And I'm sure he will. I don't know the exact specifics that he'll do, but I'm confident that he'll be able to help her out. And she'll be eternally grateful, and it'll be amazing. And man, that really did look really enjoyable, just being able to touch those ears and nibble on the ears and just everything that he was doing. I would like to switch places with him. They should teach me that summoning magic so I could summon him here and then reverse summon myself there. But I'm sure that's how it works. I do like how Shara just didn't care at all that Rem was going to be tortured and all that by him. She's like, "Oh, well, I'm just eating my food. Don't mind me, guys. Have fun." Like, even after she was making very loud, orgasmic noises up there, she didn't mind too much. People were curious what was going on up there. She's like, I don't know, who cares? I got bread. It wasn't hard to me. So, yeah, I quite enjoyed her reaction to that. And then our final scene is just that one douchebag fighting. Diablo, not realizing the power difference. He summons like level 30 salamander, an overgrown lizard. And him being a level 150 legendary player that he is, just completely wrecks him. Like, holding back, he did more damage than he meant to. So that goes to show you. Apparently Rem's tail's in my room now. But yeah, basically goes to show you his power. He's very powerful, and you don't want to mess with him, pretty much. And I think that one guy learned that lesson the hard way. And apparently there is some racism against demi-humans here, which is, that's not really no surprise. That's also pretty common in isekai anime. But, he's not one you want to piss off, but hopefully that lesson's learned. Only thing left to say is that the ED was fantastic. I loved it. The art for the various characters was spot on. Rem looked wonderful. Like, she's best girl. We got to see some other girls in this ED that we haven't really been met in the series itself, so I can't really can't really comment on how much I like them overall, you know, personality and all that stuff. But some of them looked really just really good in that ED. That was some fantastic artwork. But yeah, so this, like I said, this was a really great first episode, and it did not disappoint me in the slightest. I loved it. I am excited for more. It was pretty ecchi. Maybe not quite as ecchi as I was expecting, but you know, considering there even is an uncensored version, usually you expect a bit more there. But sure, cat, just knock over all my stuff. Anyway, it was still pretty ecchi. Like, there was a couple of like imagination shots from Diablo of the two girls like together that were top quality, but you know, no nips or anything. But yeah, anyway, great episode. Can't wait for more. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section below and my reaction and all that stuff. So thank you for watching, and thank you Cnouki, as well as everyone else, for doing what you can to support the channel. It means a lot to me, and I hope we can continue to grow the channel together. If you want to do more to support the channel, then you can become a patron on my Patreon and get cool rewards like early access to certain videos. Have a good one.